Hi, I'm Phil. I'm from D&G Woodlands and I'm here with Richard today. And you want to tell us a bit more about your site?
Absolutely. Yeah, so we're at Heron's Rest, as we've named it, which is in Roundstonefoot, Moffat. And this is a site that, when we first arrived, was really just an open field. Had previously been grazed by sheep many years ago. And yeah, we started by bringing some self-funded planting, sort of less than 50 trees to start with, and then accessed the Woodland Trust More Woods grant scheme to plant around 700 trees. And then since then, we've actually accessed the South of Scotland tree planting grant scheme to enable us to establish an orchard. Which is going to help us produce some cider and hopefully have some community apple days in the future. We've also got then most recently some evergreen planting. So we've planted holly and Scots pine this year, again using the support of the grant scheme. And yeah, over that 4 to 5 year period, we've seen some major changes in the site. It's really come to life.
Oh, that's great. So you mentioned the South of Scotland tree planting grant there, which is the small tree planting scheme. So that's going to be going ahead again this year. So the difference this year, though, it's going to be split. So it's going to be the Dumfries and Galloway tree planting grant, which will cover all of Dumfries and Galloway. And that's going to be run by D&G Woodlands. Still be able to get stuff over in the Borders. That'll be Borders Forest Trust and the Tweed Forum managing that side. So that was kind of a really good little gateway to get into here, wasn't it? Just because it's a small area.
Yeah.
It's how did you find applying for it? Was it easy, hard?
Yeah, I mean, that is the word, easy, actually. Yeah. And I think that's a major selling point, and that's what people need to understand is that from my experience of applying for different types of grants and even appraising grants myself through work, is that it's designed really well. The forms are simple. It's easy to complete. You don't have to provide reams and reams of information, background to the site, vision for the site, and some photos, and really where you're going to source your trees from. And so, yeah, very simple, straightforward process, which makes it really accessible and, really very little reason not to do it.
Yeah, just kind of gets you going, gets your foot in the door, and you've got the bug for it, haven't you now?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd love to do more planting. Maybe I need to take a year off, as I'm not sure my wife will be happy about me planting yet more trees. We're probably around 1,000 trees now, so. Yeah, I mean, we're trying to pack as much as we can in here and trying to bring a series of interventions to really bring maximum biodiversity to a relatively small parcel of land. So, we're less than 3 acres here, but we're trying to create woodland, orchard, hedgerow, scrubby areas. We've got wetland too, and you can design a woodland or an area of land to bring all of that and all that biodiversity and that's where you get the magic. Okay, so we've seen a real uplift in biodiversity and the species that are using the land. From invertebrates, lots more butterflies and moths. We're seeing loads of bird life, loads of small mammals, raptors feeding on those mammals. We've also got plenty of big mammals in here as well, or as big as they get in modern Scotland anyway. And that we've got badgers coming through here, foxes hunting on those voles, and I've seen that. I've actually sat here and watched a fox doing that. And we've got plenty of deer as well, and they're still living in harmony with the woodland. Yes, there's some browsing, but it's okay. The hedgerows have bounced back from that browsing. Everything seems to be in balance and it's working well.
So you mentioned deer there as well. So of course the grant covered the tree protection as well. It also does cover some fencing. So it's not just the trees. It can cover labour as well if you're a community group. So it covers a lot of stuff. Like you say, you get quite a lot for your money out of it. So yeah, would you recommend to other people that they do it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so is it £1,000 again this year?
It's up to £1,000, yeah.
So £1,000 is going to go a fairly long way in terms of small-scale interventions. I think what I would say to people is the thing you end up spending your money on is actually the protection. The protection's more expensive than the trees. I've put all of the trees in myself, so I didn't use external labour, which again would eat up some of the money. But I would highly recommend using protection, because as long as you hand screef around the site, which is where you remove that top layer of turf, when you plant the tree using the plug, by putting the protection around it, you are going to keep predominantly deer and hare away from the trees. Trees do bounce back from browsing activity, but it obviously stems their growth, or stunts their growth. So yeah, I'd highly recommend using various forms of protection. We've got a wraparound mesh guard here. You can use preformed mesh guards or Tubex. All have their sort of pros and cons. This one here that we've got certainly allows more light in and lets the tree bush out more than some of the sort of smaller, tighter guards.
Yeah, oh, that's great. Yeah, so there's a lot of information we've got available as well. There's tree planting guides, so if people needed help choosing what trees to get and how to do it. I mean, you're a veteran of this now. We could send them to you, but there's all that guide there available on our website too, as well as help filling in the forms.
Yeah.
But like you say, they're very simple.
Yeah.
So that'll all be launching very soon this month. So it's really great to visit here and actually see, you know, somebody make a great thing of this scheme, and it we've seen so much wildlife today, so many birds and bugs as well. So it's thank you very much for having us.
No problem at all, and I just encourage everyone to go out there and, you know, apply, get stuck in and plant some trees.
That was good to hear.
Thanks for visiting.
Thanks.